Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to bring as my guest today, Mr. Chris MacFarland, Chief Development Officer of Comcast Business. Chris, welcome.
Hi, Adam. So good to see you.
Great to see you as well. We've talked quite a bit last 2 years about what's taking place at Comcast Business. I want to jump right into it. A lot of times you and I get together, we talk about industry dynamics, where things are going, but specific to the industry, I think Comcast Business is making such big moves. Of course, you sold Masergy to Comcast, which was transformational. Now the acquisition of Nitel, which was just finalized, integration taking place right now. What's behind that? Is this just aggregation for more size?
Yeah, it's a great question, Adam. And hopefully, there's a handful of reasons why we did this, many of which were strategic. One, the acquisition of Nitel, which we closed the very beginning of April. So we're just about 6 weeks into integration right now, is that they've got incredible people. And, in this industry, as you're growing, and Comcast was absolutely a growth machine, just finding great people as you continue to scale the business up is critically important. Secondarily, Margie Shaw and her team there, she's the CEO and she's still with us, built this incredible aggregation platform inside of Nitel. And if you think about Comcast Business, we really focus on, kind of broadly speaking, three customer segments: small business, and then enterprise. But inside of enterprise, there's a couple of cohorts of enterprise. There's kind of what we call mid-market/mid-market enterprise, and then there's really large enterprise. We've been filling out that portfolio so that we can bring, the ability to meet a customer anywhere that they want and how they want to be met. And we feel like the indirect channel, and the broader speaking, the channel is an area of significant growth today. And so with these two acquisitions, Nitel and Masergy, we're now north of 10% of Comcast Business coming through the channel, and it was a much smaller fraction of that just literally 3 years ago. When we think about the growth that we're seeing, we're really, really bullish. And we believe that taking the Nitel streamlined ways to engage with mid-market and mid-market enterprise opportunities, and marrying that with our broader portfolio of managed security services, so think our secure SD-WAN, our broad UCaaS portfolio, the emerging growth that we're seeing in SASE, and also our cybersecurity portfolio, that now it gives our advisors in the broader channel this ability to have, really quick quotes that are streamlined for deals that are kind of in that mid-market space, and then the ability for us to, flow pretty prescriptively through the solution so they can be rapidly deployed. So we're super excited about this strategically. And we think that we've taken something now that really, really gives us an opportunity to accelerate, with the broader TA community, because of marrying the Nitel platform to the rest of the resources that CB has.
All right, so I'm hearing two things, and I want to talk about those separately. Number one is what you're saying to me is it's not just about size and combining Nitel for greater scale, but what you're saying is it's an aggregation platform. It's going to create some efficiencies and capabilities that CB didn't currently have. Is that accurate?
It's 1,000%. I mean, we've heard it for a number of years, right? That if you came to us and you had a really large opportunity, we were good at doing the aggregation components, but because of the fact that we were a little bit, in some cases, a lot more manual in terms of the effort there, we kind of had a high benchmark for the size of the opportunity. And then, as you're well aware, our genesis was in the, dedicated internet, Ethernet, and broadband internet focused, services. And that we had a decent way of engaging with people. But if they really wanted to, a national or now a global footprint, and there was, call it 10 to 20 sites, we were really great at delivering that, but it took us a bit of a time to build the quote and the contract. With the Nitel platform, this is all going to be streamlined. We kept everybody who wants to be kept, and so again, we think culturally this is a great fit with the business. I think secondarily, it greatly enhances the opportunity for our channel partners to work a lot more with us, and more importantly, just give us more opportunities. Because I felt like, and we saw it, there was enough friction there that it was easier to work with some of the smaller people in this competitive space. But now we think we can bring you a better technology solution, probably at a slightly better price, just given our size and scale. And then we are going to continue to invest to really, really changed the scope of the opportunities. And so we couldn't be more excited about strategically what this does for the, the mid-market enterprise space, for the channel and just for our business in general.
Well, what's interesting to me is you mentioned that when you talk about friction, we saw that for years and years, that there was Comcast Enterprise and there were these national accounts. And what we saw is this embracing of the channel and, more acceptance of advisors working with. And I think you're seeing a big upshot in bookings as a result of that engagement. But, you've also, with these acquisitions of both Masergy and now Nitel, expanded your offering to the enterprise. So it's really a double shot of one, more partner engagement, two, better product. How is that resonating though? Is the market hearing that? Are advisors hearing that, or do they still see you as a cable company?
I think it's today. I'd love to tell you that they see us as this next generation broad portfolio platform versus the legacy view of being traditionally, a traditional cable co. I think we're mid phase. I think people are starting to hear us. I mean, as I think I'd love for everybody to really know here is that, we changed the way that we work. We team to win where we need to win, whether it's between different parts of our own channel teams, whether it's different parts of our field teams with your TAs. And I think that was the biggest shift for us, is that we made a conscious decision that not only was the channel, become a significant portion of the business, because you articulated both the acquisitions were over 90% channel focused in terms of how they built their businesses. But secondarily, when we look forward, the great things that you're doing at Telarus, we've seen this shift, right? There's a lot less commodity-based services being sold, and there's a lot more advanced solutions. Well, those advanced solutions have complexity, and you need to have, more people in the room at certain points in that dialogue to make sure that we're building the right outcomes for that business. I mean, like, we're all in on cybersecurity. We've got a whole series of things that we're going to, bring to life with, artificial intelligence. And we're just excited about, where the platform's at. But more importantly, on the go-to-market side of the equation, the channel growth dynamics are critical to us, and we want them to come to us, whether, it's a small business opportunity that's more transactional, but everything outside of that is kind of solutions based, and we think will become even more solutions based. And so us building out the technology stack in a way that can be digested, and then reducing friction, and then more importantly, given your TAs and the broader channel community, this opportunity to make a difference in this changing landscape, because everybody, regardless of whether they're a 100-employee business or a 100,000-employee business, they've got a lot of things they're trying to do with their own digital journey.
So in every response you've given, and I can go back and audit this, and I don't think I have to, because I heard in every response you gave, it was about advisors, it's about TAs. Tell me about the appetite at Comcast to see more of this business come through the advisor channel.
Yeah, so there's a massive opportunity, we believe, to continue to accelerate in this area. And that's why you see us making the investments not only in our own business, but through acquisitions. Secondarily, how do we enhance the training and the knowledge base that we can give to TAs? And then here's just the reality of the situation. For solutions, it drives the buyer has to have high trust. We believe that the TA community has built just incredible relationships over a period of time, and typically have high trust, right? They don't get brought into opportunities, for no reason. And what we're really committed to is, how do we make sure that there's enough trust that we're part of the ability to compete? Inside of it, we call it kind of, opportunities or at bats. And we want to have, 100% a chance to see opportunities. We think we have a right to win in many of those opportunities, but we also want to make sure that we bring the right resources to bear. And so we want to make sure that we're building trust. So Matt Fosnot, who leads the channel for us, you're going to see an enhanced, TA program that we're launching that builds, real motions. And, for lack of a better term, some of the things that we built a little over 3 years ago that people saw inside of the Masergy framework, we're bringing some of those frameworks back to life, because we feel like this is a way for us to really invest and accelerate kind of the TA network across all the major cities, in North America and parts of Western Europe.
Well, I got to say, from my vantage point, it's clearly visible from sitting in advisory councils. Of course, your track record with the channel, what Matt is doing with the channel, and senior leadership at Comcast Business across the board. It is great to hear the drumbeat get louder about advancement through the channel, the technology advancement, but really wanting to push that through the channel. So appreciate the partnership. We're thrilled by the advancements you guys are making and look forward to continued growth with Comcast Business in the advisor channel.
That's great. And we appreciate you and everything your team does at Telarus as well.
All right. Thanks so much, Chris.